this is Johnny back with another story time, and today I'm going to be talking about the time that my aunt was an alien. Is an alien? I'm still not convinced she's human. Let's get started. This story takes place, I was about 6 years old at the time. My cousins and I were watching one of those documentaries about Mars and the face on Mars and aliens and all that kind of stuff. You know, what little kid doesn't want to show that they're tough? What little kid doesn't want to be like a paranormal investigator, you know what I mean? I'm going to find the mysteries of the world, that kind of thing. I was very that. And so we finished the show and we're talking about the aliens and like, oh, do you think there's aliens under the face on Mars? Maybe. You know, usual like little kid talk about like spooky things like that when they watch something like that. Do you think you'd be scared? And like, no, I'm not gonna be scared. I'm a brave boy! I'm there like, no, I'll beat an alien up. My cousins are like, oh, you would you? And so they're like, you know, Mom's an alien. And I'm like, Beatty's an alien? And I'm like, yeah, Mom's an alien. Go ask her. So I run to the kitchen to go talk to my aunt. And I'm like, Beatty. And I go to like, I go off and there's, you know, little kid rambles. I'm like, so, are you an alien or aren't you? I'll beat you up if you are. And I'm going, the fact that this 6-year-old thought I can beat up my aunt. Kids really are delusional. So, she like, washing the plates, like, that's nice, Poppy. Washing the plates. And so like, I'm never seeing her face, you know what I mean? So, I'm like talking to her back. And she like, oh yeah, you know, and I'm just rambling. And obviously I'm bothering my aunt while she's busy doing something. And so I guess she's like, I'ma get this kid. I'ma scare this kid to leave me the hell alone. And so she did that thing that people do, like they could flip their lid inside out. So I didn't know that was a thing people could do at the time. Again, I was 6. And so I'm like standing there, I'm like bouncing up and down, like, yeah, I can beat you up, not a problem. And she like, oh, so you want the truth, huh? Never showing me her face. You want the truth, huh? And I'm like, yeah, tell me the truth. And then she turns around, you can't handle the truth. Her lid's flipped, so all I see is like red, pink eyes. And I just look at her, I'm like, I scream, and I dip so hard. I run out of the kitchen, I run through the hallway into the living room. My grandmother had a coffee table, and it's not one of those like, oh, it's a tiny little coffee table that could hold like maybe a coffee and a donut, and that's about it. No, it was one of those long rectangular coffee tables that like take up half the living room. And so she had it covered with a lot of knickknacks, so like it wasn't just like a normal height coffee table at that point, and it was like it had an extra like 2 or 3 feet on it. So the tallest thing was taller than me at the time. It came up to like about here on me, and frazzled me in my 6-year-old mind, horrified, could not think to run around the coffee table. I somehow gained the ability to fly or whatever because I jumped over the coffee table. And I never stopped to think what to do. No, this is all one fluid motion. Out the kitchen, out in the hallway, in the living room, over the coffee table. And I just kept running. Over the coffee table, I run into my grandmother's room. I run into a room that was connected to my grandmother's room. And I go behind that door. And there's a coat there. I jump, put my arms in the arms of the coat and hold myself up there. So if anyone like looks under the door, they won't see any feet. And I'm just there, even though you can clearly hear me like huffing and crying in fear. Like, oh yeah, no, there's no feet. But this coat is oddly whimpering. This coat is clearly frightened of something. My cousin had already made his way into the living room while I was bothering his mother. And all he saw was a blur pass him by, hop over the coffee table, and run into grandma's room. And to this day, we still call it the human blur, which is a bootleg, like The Flash or something. Like, yeah, no, Johnny was the human blur that day. Like, I dipped so hard. All that talk about, I can beat him up, no problem. Like, some kind of scrappy dude, like, let me at him. Like, the second something came at me, I was like, ah! I was gone. You didn't see anything. You didn't even see me leave. I think my aunt was trying to get me out, but she's like laughing, and I don't believe her at this point. I vaguely remember her trying to like, Poppy, it's okay. It's just me. I was just joking. And so I think she's like trying to coax me out of the coat. Coaxed out of the coat. I like that. I wasn't having it. I'm like, if I don't say anything, she doesn't know I'm really here. She just thinks I'm here. Not really realizing like, oh wait, she can easily just boop, you know, open up the code and be like,
There you are. Hi.
so my mom gets there to pick me up, and she's like, where's Johnny? And my aunt's like, and she's like, why is my son hiding in a coat? So they get into a little argument, although I'll admit it was my fault. Well, I can't even admit it's my fault, okay? It was my cousin's fault for coaxing me into bothering his mother, and so I still blame him to this day. I blame you, Chris. But yeah, that was the time that I got so scared that I broke the sound barrier. Yeah, I still see things from that run. I travel through time, dimensions. I saw things. Grandma called it the Shining. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that story because I enjoyed telling it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and bing bong the ding dong down below to be alerted to whenever I make a new video. And until next time, bye! I'm still gonna have to find a way to get her back for that. Revenge is coming.